Hello, welcome to episode 213 of the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.2.1.4. We're going to be making a sacrificial fire. GM Redditor said to me that he had made a sacrificial fire, and I thought that sounds really cool. You can kill mobs near it. That's all he said. And I thought, well, I'm going to have a go at one of them. So what we need to do is we need to put down a sculpt block, you put campfire, and chuck a nether star on top. We now have a soul fire. It has no souls. In fact, we can left click. Souls collected, none. Let's clear the spider. Yes. There we go. Oh, he's happy. He's collected a soul. We left click. We can see we've got a spider soul now. I can use the spider soul to convert my fermented spider eye into a diamond. Can I do another one? Let's get another fermented spider eye. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, I dropped it. Come on, pick it up. Where's it gone? Oh, I've got lots of junk in here. Look, there's one. I can use that one. Nope, not enough souls. It uses a soul each time I try to convert something. Anyway, I thought it was a really cool idea by GM Redditor, and I thought I have to have a go at it. It's going to be a long one. I haven't set up anything on the right click. I've put the functions in there, so you can set some stuff up if you want. Mine just says I was right clicked. And we're also going to set it up for resource pack, although we're not doing a resource pack in this tutorial, because it's crazy long anyway. So let's just get on and build it now. Okay, here we are in the Datapack. You can see we've got quite a lot of functions and things going on. I've got some admin commands to give myself the souls. I've got commands in the fire directory. These are all for the fire. We've got a load and tick, and we've got a load of predicates and a couple of loot tables. Okay. Now, don't worry about setting up the folders and the files first. You can just add them as you go along if you want. So I think I'm going to start with just doing all these predicates. So, chance %50. Let's pop over to Misode. I think it's probably easiest. Predicate. And let's do, is it called a random chance? I believe it is. Random chance. Let's set the chance as a float. And set that to 0.5. Hey. No, set it as an object. Its type will be constant. Its value will be 0.5. That's better. Okay, so it goes from 0 to 1. If it's 1, it's always going to pass. And if it's 0, it's never going to pass. 0.5, 50% chance to pass. Okay, we'll be using that later. And I'll explain a bit more when we actually use it. Let's get that in there. Okay, now, is something on a lit campfire? Let's go and do that one. Let's do a reset. And we'll say entity properties. The entity will be this. Predicate will be stepping on. Are you stepping on a block? Is that block a string? Is it a campfire? Well, we only want one. We don't want campfires with the hashtag because that's the sole campfire as well. We just want Minecraft campfire. Okay, and its state. Is it lit? Okay. That looks alright. Let's copy that. Let's take that back. Is campfire lit? Put that in there. Save that. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it is campfire out as well, because we'll just change lit to false. There we go. So that's that one done. In fact, let's do is on soulfire lit as well, because I can just paste that in there as well. Instead of saying campfire, I'll say soul campfire. And that's that one done. Is on ground. Okay, let's go and do is on ground. Let's start from the beginning. Entity properties. Entity is this. Predicate flags is on ground true. Copy that. Pop that into is on ground. And now we want a timer. So what this will do is this will, instead of running every tick, we're going to use this to run every certain amount of ticks. So if we are ticking the entity every tick, we will have, it's an entity of properties, I think, this, and its predicate should be periodic tick, and let's set it to, I don't know, 30 ticks, so 1.5 seconds. That'll do. Save. Now what I'm going to do later is I'll be using a combination of chance 50% and timer particle. And what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, have 30 seconds gone up? If they have, then do me a percent chance. If the percent chance passes, then we'll do something. So it's sort of adding a bit of randomization. You'll see more on that later as well. Okay, let's go straight onto the load. We need some scores. Scoreboard, objectives, add, and I'm going to have a soul count Husk dummy. So this is how many Husk souls the fire has stored, and we'll have a soul count spider, how many spider souls it's got. Now, if you wanted other entities, you would then create more. One for each entity. And we'll also have a soul count total. And this is used for the little number we had above the fire. Okay, that looks good for the load. Let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that. I reckon next would be an admin command just to give ourselves souls. I'm going to use the old space and backslash. Let's copy those. And let's do give at s poisonous potato. Can I get the Minecraft namespace? Yep. Open. We'll paste in our space. Okay. Now let's get some stuff going in here. Let's line it up a bit. Right, I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to plan ahead in case we want to use a resource pack. So I am going to do item name, Minecraft item name, equals, open and close some apostrophes, open and close some curly brackets, and in here I'll have a color, I'll have the fallback text, and I'll have the translate text. This is so I can easily tag on the resource pack later if I want to. So let's do translate, and we'll give that a key. I'll use ID, infernal device, fire. It's an item, and the item is a soul for a husk. Okay. But then if there's no resource pack, and we're not making one in this tutorial, so we'll need a fallback. Fallback. And we'll just call it a husk soul. And let's give it a colour as well. Colour. I like dark aqua. There we go. Okay. And this is not the last entry, so we'll have a comma there. And then next line. Let's get our little backslash in. We'll have custom data equals, open and close, comma, because it's not the last line. I want one thing to say, yeah, this item is a soul. And then I'll have an ID as well. And we'll use that to say it's the soul of a husk. One thing to note here is this ID, husk, must match in our load function this bit here. So if I called this soul count husky, I would want to call this ID husky, because this is going to be used in a macro to target that score. Okay, so we've done the custom data. Let's get another line. There we go. An item model. I am going to use just I don't want it to look like a poisonous potato. If we don't have a resource pack, let's default it to a Minecraft diamond. Enchantment glint override, I think I'll have that as well. I like that. And we'll just say equals true. Still not the last item. Next one, and we'll also add, again thinking ahead for a resource pack, custom model data equals a string. No, it's not string, is it? Strings, yeah. And in there we will say soul husk. Okay, now tell me why you're not happy. It's because you should be in square brackets, shouldn't you? Like so. Okay, so custom model data, what we can do later on with the resource pack is we can change the diamond item model and say, hey, if this item actually has this string for its custom model data, use my model from my resource pack instead. So let's save that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. I feel like I want to empty out my inventory, but I know I'm going to need all that stuff again. Let's do function. Give soul husk. I must have some already in my inventory. I do indeed. Okay, so there's a husk soul. Okay. Let's clear the inventory, do it properly. There we go. Soul husk, we've got one. Data get entity as selected item. And it looks like everything's there. Cool. Okay, so we can give ourselves a husk soul for testing. I'm just going to copy all that. Copy, go to give soul spider. I'm just going to change the stuff, so let's change the translate key. In fact, anywhere we've got husk, we're pretty much just going to put spider. You're now going to be a spider. You're going to be a spider soul. Your ID will be spider. And your custom data will... Oh no, we don't want spider husk. That wouldn't be right at all. We want soul spider. Okay. I don't think there's any point testing that. We've just changed a few things. Right, there we go. Right. Now, what we want is the husk and the spider to drop their souls. Now, in the final version, what we'll do is the soul will be dropped, but it'll be instantly destroyed. So this is not going to be an item you can pick up. But the reason why I've set it up with custom data is I thought maybe you could add an item that lets you actually go around and collect souls. Like if you are holding a soul collector in your left hand, the soul does drop and you can pick it up. I don't know. I was just planning ahead. Let's go to Husk. I think the quickest way to do this is going to be to go to Misode and go to the loot tables and get the preset for Husk and add to it. Okay, so we don't want to touch anything that's there already. We want to add our own, we want to add another pool. So let's add another pool. So it's still going to go and do the original pool and whatever it's doing. We're going to add our own. So we'll have one roll on this. Let's see if we can get this right. And then we'll have an entry. And in our entry, we will have an type. It will be item. Its name will be a poisonous potato. We're not going to have a weight because this is going to be the only item and it's going to drop 100% of the time. They will always drop their soul. If you wanted to, you could make it so it doesn't always drop it. But now we want to do some functions on that, I think. Yeah, let's do a function. Let's set its name. Set name. We'll put its name as a translate. And what did we do? We did infernal device underline fire dot item. And then it is a soul husk. Soul of a husk. We had fallback, which was just husk soul. And we had a color of, let's do an enum, dark aqua. Okay, so we've got the name done. We'd also need the custom data. So we add another function. And this, what do we do? Do we set custom data, I think? Set custom data. And tag as a object. And we had soul. Let's add that one. And that was a boolean, which we will set to true. And then we'll also add ID. But ID, I think we're going to have as a string. And the string we're going to have was husk. Okay, so that looks all right. Now we need to set some components as well. So let's add another function. Set components. There we go. Pick a component. What did we have? We had an item model. Item model. Add that. The item model we used, I believe, was a diamond. So let's do Minecraft diamond. Then we had enchantment glint. So let's add the enchantment glint. And we can just put true for that one. And we had custom model data. Custom model data, add that. It was strings, and the string was soul husk. Okay. I think we're done. Let's copy that. Let's take it here. Now it's in the Minecraft directory because we want to override the original one. Let's do paste. Got no initial warnings. I do like that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Now we've got the one that we got from the command, and really what we need is to kill a husk, and it will drop a soul, and that soul it drops will stack with the one we've got, and then we know they're identical. Right, it's definitely dropped the soul, and it's still dropped its original stuff as well. The soul didn't stack. Ah. Okay, husk soul, right. What have we done? Set name. Is it set name? Is that the problem? Here we go. In set name, what we've done here, let's have a look. I think we've probably set its custom name. Yes, we can see here its custom name has been set. But in my one, we've set its item name. Okay, we can fix that. Back to Misode, and just down here, where we're doing set name, we have target. And let's change that to item name. And let's go and have a look. Target item name, let's copy that. Let's override this one. Or just get rid of it. Paste you in there. Save you. Let's go back. Do a reload. Now when we kill it, it should stack with the one in my first slot, not the one in my fourth slot. It does indeed. Cool. Right, so the give command is working and giving me one which is exactly the same as the one dropped by the loot table. Right, we've done one loot table. I suppose next, let's copy the spider loot table. So let's do a reset on this. Preset spider. Now I'm not going to do the whole thing again like we just did. I'm literally just going to copy that. Take it in here, put it into spider, paste it in. There you go. So we now have a normal spider. But here, pools. We could just add another one in there, as long as we've got a comma. The reason it's unhappy is because obviously it's empty at the moment. So let's go to the husk, and let's just get everything in our first pool. So here, down, 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 down to the comma. So we've got everything in our first pool we just made. Let's copy that, take it to spider, paste it in, and now let's just change the stuff inside. So it's not a husk soul, it's a spider soul. Spider, spider, and the translation will need to change as well. Oh, and our custom model data. And that was the translation we just changed. Okay, so I think all looks good. Let's save that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's get rid of what we've got so far. We'll keep the sword. We'll keep the husk egg. Let's get a spider egg. Not cave spider, spider. Let's do function. Give soul spider. We've got one. We want this one to stack. It does indeed. Cool. Right. That's great. Where should we go now? We've done the load. I think probably. Let's pop off to the tick. Okay, tick. Process any items. I'm going to execute as any entity whose type equals Minecraft item, whose tag equals not processed. And we'll do that at the item, and we will run function tick process item. Okay, so that'll go off there. If it finds an item, it's going to go off there and deal with it. But we're also going to have an interaction, and we want to process them. So we'll execute as any entity whose type equals an interaction, whose tag equals sacrificial fire. Going to spell that wrong at some point. Hopefully autofill will keep me going. And we will run function tick process interaction. Okay. That seems all right. I'm going to shrink those predicates down. There we go. And those loop tables, we've done them. So if we find an item, we'll go off to process it. If we find an interaction, we'll go to process it. Right, we need to make the campfire. So the first thing we're going to be wanting to do is process items. So let's go to process item. Check for a mob soul. Okay, so let's do execute if items entity at s contents. Well, it's a poisonous potato, so we'll say, can I have Minecraft poisonous potato? Yeah. But it has to have custom data. My brain is trying to remember what we called it. Soul true. So if it is a soul, then we will run return run. We're going to leave this function and we'll run function process mob soul. Okay, and we'll go off to that later. Process if the item is not a catalyst. So if it's not, and I'm going to use a nether star to create the fire. So it's not a nether star, and it is on the ground. Execute if predicate is on ground unless items entity at s contents is a nether Minecraft nether star. Unless it's a nether star, run return run function, and we'll process item. Check if the campfire is lit. Okay. Execute if predicate is on campfire lit. Actually, no. This is going to be checking. This should say out. That's my comments confusing me. That should say out. If predicate is campfire out, then we will run return run function fire placement cancelled, and I need to pass a message to that as well. So we'll do message the campfire is not lit. Okay, and we want to process the nether star if it is on a campfire, so this one will be execute if predicate is campfire lit. Then we will run return run function, and we want, what do we want? Process star on campfire, and then we're going to tag any of those that are on the ground. So if we've got this far, we are a nether star, so we can just do execute if predicate is on ground. Run return run. Actually, there's no point putting run return run because it's the last command. I'm going to leave. No, I will. I'm not going to leave it there actually, because it seems like bad practice. This is the last command. I'm not going to have any commands after this, so there's no point telling it to return run. We'll just run because it's going to exit the function anyway. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is we're going to see if we can find a mob soul. If we do find a mob soul, we'll process it. Next we'll do, if it's any item and it's on the ground, remember we're leaving the function here as well. So it wasn't a mob soul. Is it on the ground and it's not a nether star, then we'll process it. Now if we keep going, it's going to be, we check to see if it's on a campfire, or if the campfire is not lit. Then we check to see if the campfire is lit, and then we just add processed anyway. Okay, it seems all right. This is a confusing one. We've got a lot of stuff here. Let's do fire placement cancelled. Okay, needs a little message. Where is fire placement cancelled? Let's get that open. We'll tag the item. Okay, tag add S, add processed. And we'll display the reason why the process was cancelled. Tell raw that all players, we don't want all players on the server, so let's say they have to be within a distance equals less than 10 of the campfire. We'll have some text, and we'll say message. Now, obviously, that's just going to print the word message, so let's turn that into the macro, because remember, we're passing message. So we could just do that. Save. Now, I believe we have enough there to chuck. Let's go back. We should be able to chuck another star onto a fire and check if it's lit. Okay, let's have a go. Let's get myself another star. Another star. Let's get a campfire. Campfire. We're also going to need the skulk block later, so we might as well get that now. So if I just put that there... Oh, I need a shovel to slap the fire with. If I chuck that on, campfire's not lit. Oh, I don't like that. I like my error messages to be red. I don't mean read by the person. Well, I like them to be read by the person as well, but I like them to be the colour red. Let's add that. Okay. So, we have another star. We throw it. Campfire's not lit. Okay. No problem. Let's go back. So let's do if the campfire was lit, let's do process star on campfire. Process star. We've got a lot to do here. Exit if the block under the campfire is not a skulk block. Okay. Execute. Unless block bibbidi is a Minecraft skulk. When we want to exit, so run return run function, and we'll just do fire placement cancelled again. Fire placement cancelled, and we'll send a message. Message will be, what's the message? There's no skulk block. No skulk block detected under the campfire. Okay, save that. Let's exit if there's another fire too close. We don't want people stacking them all up all over the place. Execute if entity the nearest type equals interaction, and we'll just look for the interaction. Tag equals sacrificial fire. If there is one within a distance of less than 15, then we are going to run, return, run, function, fire placement cancelled, with a message of there is another sacrificial fire too close. Okay. Now we'll remove the item. That's pretty simple, actually. We're running as the item, so less like that one. Let's change the campfire, so it changes into a soul campfire. Soul campfire, Minecraft soul campfire. In fact, stop. We've got something. Let's test that. So we can test if there's a sculpt block. We can test if there's one too close. Well, we can't test that yet because we're not making the interaction. We'll kill the item. So it should just turn into a soul campfire. Okay, that's all right. Let's do a reload on that. Let's put that down. Let's do that. Whack. No sculpt block. Put a sculpt block down. Put the campfire there. Whack. Cool. Okay. Job done. Let's go back. Place an interaction on the campfire. Okay, that makes sense. Let's, and I want it centered and everything, so execute a line with the XYZ positioned 0.5, 0.5, run, summon an interaction at those coordinates. Oh, I suppose we didn't actually have to do position 0.5, did we? Look, we can get rid of that. It's my brain. We could just put it here instead. 0.5. 0.5. We definitely want a tag because we're already targeting Sacrificial Fire. I don't want it to be the whole block because I still need to be able to break that fire. So we're going to have to make it a little bit smaller. I want it to cover the flames. So let's go for a height. Well, the flames nearly go to the top of the block. So let's say 0.9. A width, probably 0.6 would do. And a response, true. That means if I right click it, my arm will still wiggle. Now I want to give it some scores because it's got no souls yet. So let's do scoreboard, players, set the nearest type equals type minus type equals Minecraft interaction, tag equals Sacrificial Fire, set its Husk count to 0, copy that, set its spider count to 0. And if you've got any other mobs, set them to 0 as well. Now I'm going to have a little text display that's going to display the total amount. You don't have to have this, but if you do, well, if you do want it, then do this. Basically, I don't know what I'm saying now. Execute, Z, run, summon, Minecraft text display, 0.5, lift it up as well, so it's out of the fire, 0.5, that's 0.6. Give it some information, we're going to give it a tag, so just give it the same tag, I think. Tags, Sacrificial. Have I done something silly? Minecraft text display. What's missing key? Oh, text displays have to have an alignment. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so that'll fix itself when we put the alignment in a minute. Okay, I want billboard. Vertical. I want it to turn to face the player. I don't want it to tip up and down. I just want it to turn around. Then we'll need an alignment, won't we? So let's do that. Alignment. I think it goes in the speech marks, center. And I'll need some text. Text. Do we do open and close apostrophes, open and close curly brackets? Let's have bold, true. Let's have the text itself, and let's have a color. So this will be bold, true. It's only just been created, so I suppose we just put hardcoded 0 in there. And let's say color dark aqua. Okay, and let's have some particle effects as well. Let's just go like a poof or a shoosh or something like that. A poof or a shoosh, both of which sounds like sounds. Skulk soul. Yeah, those are those little things, aren't those? Those little things. Those little like faces. Let's lift it up. Let's make it 0.5 wide. Let's make it quite high, 1.2, 0.5 wide in that direction. A speed. Let's go for a speed of 0, count to 20. And let's have a sound as well. Play sound. Entity. You're not going to... I want the namespace. Minecraft. Entity. Oh, with a scary, with a hurt. Play it on the block channel for all players at those coordinates. Let's drop its pitch down so it sounds a bit different. Okay, save. Reload. Pop the fire down. Nice. Let's get a nether star. Let's get 64 nether stars so we don't have to do that again. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so we've got a nice little effect. F3B. And our interaction looks alright. And we've got our text on top. Cool. Okay. Right. We're getting somewhere. Actually, a result. Right, let's do process mob soul. Process mob soul. Is the soul near a sacrificial fire? So, well, whatever happens, we're going to kill it. So if it's not near a fire, it's just going to die instantly. That's going to stop you picking it up. But if it is near a fire, we need the fire to go yum 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 and eat it. So let's execute as nearest. Type equals Minecraft interaction. Oh, why don't you Minecraft? There it is. Minecraft interaction. Tag equals sacrificial fire. Well, we need a distance check. Distance equals less than 5. You have to kill something within 5 blocks of the sacrificial fire. Or you don't have to kill it, it just has to die there. It could die on the fire. So you could actually make a mob farm where you drop mobs onto the fire. That would work. Obviously, you'd only be collecting one type of soul, unless you made some very clever machine which funneled all different mobs into the fire. We'll worry about that later. In fact, that's not even anything to do with the Datapack. That's to do with how you want to... what am I doing here? Run function. Yeah, that's not to do with the Datapack. That's how you want to set up your farm. Which function do I want to run? I want to say, well, we're near a fire. Process soul near fire. And I want to send with entity the nearest type equals item. To get this far, it must be a mob soul. And I want to get its item, its components, its Minecraft custom data. Because in there is ID. Remember, we put an ID in there, Husk or Spider, so we'll grab that. Okay, at N type item. Is that going to work? Tick. Execute as item at item. So we are executing as and at. So that at N, that's going to be itself. Okay, that seems good. So now if I throw... Let's go to process soul near fire. Because I think that's going to be next anyway. And let's just say hi. Let's do a reload. Right, if I can... this is why we make admin commands. Give myself a Husk soul. Did we do a reload? Possibly not. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Let's do function. Process mob soul, yes. Process soul near fire. They both seem to be running. Process mob soul. Soul equals true. Well, we checked that. I mean, we've even got kill S here. If items entity contents, poisonous potato. Let's data get it. I know we've got a command here somewhere. It is a poisonous potato. It definitely has soul. Soul 1B. Which soul true? That's the same. Let's just see if we're actually running this function. Oh. Let's X that one. Put it at the top because we've got run returns. Save that. Not even running that function. So we're not even getting to tick process item. Execute as any items not processed. Did I... That's spelt right, isn't it? Okay, now I don't know what the difference there was. Who? So we're certainly getting to the who. Oh, I didn't want too many mistakes in this one because it's going to be a very long one. Anyway, you're going to have to watch this in 2 parts. Execute if items, entity, contents, poison data, custom data. Oh, if I put equals, tilde, I put equals, which means it can only have sold equals true. But ours also has an ID. Is that the problem? That is a horrible problem. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I saw it. There we go. You can see that I threw it, but it's instantly being destroyed. And that is what we want. Because we're coming into process mob soul. Is it near a fire? Well, we'll go off and say hi, and then we kill it, which means if mobs drop them, we're not collecting them. Cool. Right. So it's like an invisible item at the moment. Oh, that makes me feel better. Let's process it if it's near a fire. Increase the soul fire's count. So scoreboard. Players, and we're running as the fire, aren't we? Or the interaction entity. Soul count, Husk. 1. Right, problem here, it might not be the Husk. That's why we made the ID. We will just do bump, bump, bump. ID. And do that. Okay. Now, total the scores. Okay, so scoreboard, players, reset, at S, soul count total, scoreboard, players, operation, at S, soul count total, plus equals at S, soul count Husk. Copy that. Say total equals plus spider. So that's going to add them all up. Let's update the text display. Data merge into an entity. Nearest type equals text display. Tag equals sacrificial fire. Open and close. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a hard one. We want to update its text. Apostrophes. Inside its text. First thing is going to be a score, so we're going to need a score. Now a score would be that. Open and close some more curlies. 1, 2. Come outside of the score. We'll also need the colour and the bold, I think. So colour and bold. Let's do bold. Bold is true. Colour is going to be dark aqua. The text will be a score. The name, I'll do the name last because it's going to be a long one. The objective will be soul count total. And let's copy this at n type equals Minecraft. Copy that. That's going to be the name. We paste that in there, but that is still the text display. I want it from the interaction. Let's save that. Let's have some particles as well. Execute at S. Execute at S. No, don't do execute at S. Just particle then. Particle. Well, lava. Big splash of Minecraft lava would be cool. We'll move it up a bit. Let's have a bit of a spread. 0.4. 0.4, why not? Let's have a little bit of speed. A particle count of 20. Let's have a sound. Play sound. Ravager's got some great sounds. So let's do a Minecraft Ravager stunned. We'll play it on the block channel for all players. at those coordinates. We'll have a minimum volume of 1. Let's change its pitch though. Let's pitch it up a bit. There we go. Save. Right. You there. Reload. Scoreboard. Scoreboard. Objectives. Set display. Sidebar. Soul count. Husk. What's that soul count there? Did I make a mistake somewhere? Scoreboard. Objectives. Remove. Soul count. Now. Oh, I didn't get any sound. Oh, okay, that's not playing at the right place. We probably do need @s. We're running as the interaction, but not at the interaction. Yeah, okay, execute @s. I think that's the problem. Go back. Reload. I'm just throwing the soul. Oh, still no sound. That's weird. But the soul count for Husk is going up. 5 on there, and we've got 5 on the side. Will it track spiders as well? Apparently I seem to have no sound coming from Minecraft at the moment. No, I heard that. Oh, I can hear the fire. Okay. So now we can see I'm giving it spider souls. The spider souls are going up on there, but they're not going up on the other side because that is just the Husk count. So this should be 5 as well, I suppose. 5 and 5. Okay, yeah. Right, what's wrong with our sound? Oh, I haven't said who it's playing for. Oh, well, I feel like a bit of an idiot now. I've put @s. It's playing. The sound is playing for the interaction. Okay. So maybe... Do you know what? I'm just going to take these out again. Because maybe these weren't the problem. Maybe we're already executing at the interaction. And we can tell. Because if I try and throw one... No, look, the lava's coming from me. That's not what I want. Yeah, we definitely do want that in there. And that in there. There we go. Okay, so now every time we kill a mob nearby... Oh, that's my shovel. Okay, cool. Let's get that off the sidebar. We'll do a proper count. Now, if I'm somewhere else and I throw it, it's still instantly killed. Because imagine I was the Husk dying. So we don't want to see the souls. They're still getting killed. But if I kill it near a fire... So what have we got? 14. Let's put you down there. Now we're 15. And we get the... Wow, cool. This is quite fun. I love this. I love this idea. It's such a cool thing. Right. What's next? Let's keep going. Let's go... Let's process an item that's on the fire. So we can use this to... We can use the souls to do something. I don't know. Let's use the souls to do something. We're going to convert items using souls. So, process item. Tag the item. Cool. Tag. @s. Add. Processed. Done. Process the item if it's on a fire. Execute if predicate is on soul fire. If entity nearest, so it has to be on a soul fire, but we definitely need to make it a sacrificial one, so we'll check for that. Minecraft interaction tag equals sacrificial fire as well. Better put a distance check in there. Let's say distance equals, I'm going to say less than 0.7, just in case they've got another fire next to it. So we don't want to go too high. That should be enough. And then if it is, we'll run function process item on fire. Okay, let's go process item on fire next. Convert a fermented spider eye. Okay, so we're just going to check if it's a spider eye. Execute if items entity @s contents is a fermented spider eye. We don't need to check any data or anything because this is just a normal spider. Oh, I tell you what we'll do. We'll check count. Count equals 1. We don't want them getting a whole stack of spider eyes. Then we will run function convert spider eye. Okay, so now we could see if you wanted, maybe at the end we'll come back and add another one, but you could say if contents sandstone, then convert sandstone. But what's the difference is that convert spider eye is going to remove a spider soul, and maybe sandstone removes a husk soul. So you would list them down here. So we've got that convert. So let's do the convert, I suppose. Let's go off to convert. Exit if not enough spider soul. Okay, that makes sense. I'm glad I put these notes in here for myself. I had no idea what I was doing. So first we need to check the amount of spider souls. So we will execute unless score the nearest type equals interaction whose tag equals sacrificial fire. Their soul count, and this is only going to use spider souls because I think fermented spider eye makes me think of spiders. That's why I used that item. Let's use a spider soul, but it has to match. Execute unless. Okay, so if they've got one or more, then we won't execute. Run, return, run. We'll do a function. In fact, actually, we can just use placement cancelled and we can put a message. Yeah, we just do that. There's nothing else in that that's going to cause a problem. All we're doing in there is tagging the item and displaying a message. Not enough spider souls. Okay, but if they do have enough spider souls, then we'll remove one. Let me just copy that selector there. Scoreboard players, remove you spider soul 1. Okay, now let's convert the item. So I think we could just actually data merge its ID or data modify its ID. Yeah, that's probably easiest. Data modify entity at s item dot id set value, and then we just set the value to whatever item. So our fire is going to use spider souls to convert fermented spider eyes into whatever we type here. Let's be really nice. Let's say you can convert them into diamonds. I mean, it costs you a soul each time. Let's have a sound. Let's just speed things up a bit. I have sound commands, so let's just paste some sound commands and particle commands in. Like that. Okay, so we're going to play an ally with an item and a sculpt charge pop. That'll do. Now we need to total up the scores. Scoreboard. Obviously, we only need to do this if you want to display it on the text display. If you don't have to, to be honest, you don't need it because we're going to make it so you can left click on the fire and it'll display how many souls it's got. But this is just in case people were interested. Scoreboard players, reset. And it would be the nearest. Let's just grab it from up here. Copy you. And it's total, soul count total. Then we'll have scoreboard, players, operation. Actually, I think we could do this better. Instead of resetting it, scoreboard players operation at S, soul count total equals at S, soul count husk. So instead of resetting it, we'll just set it to husk. So we've put equals husk, equals. So that's resetting it and setting it to husk. And then we'll just put plus equals spider. Yeah, that's better. We've got one less command. Now that makes me think, quick little side note, where were we doing that before? We were doing it before, weren't we? Display mob soul near fire. There we go. So we're resetting it there. Let's do the same there. There we go. That feels better. Right, back here. Update the text display. Oh, this. Can we get the one that we had before? Where did we do that? Was that in the same place, mob soul? Soul near fire. Update it. Let me copy this command. Copy that. So I just don't have to type it again. Data merge, nearest text display, sacrificial fire, bibbidi bobbidi boop. Seems good. Save that. Okay, let's try throwing a fermented spider eye onto our fire. Ooh, we got a diamond. Okay, I don't know how many. Not enough spider souls, but look, our count there wasn't going down. Okay. Okay, let's try. Now, it definitely updates there. And that updates. Okay, so it is a problem with updating the text display here. Data merge into the entity. Well, why would this one be a problem then? Are we even? Yeah, we are removing one. It's just it wasn't updating. Soul count total equals soul count husk. Let's see if it's actually changing the score on the sidebar. Nine. Oh. Hello. It gave itself the score. It changed its own score. Oh, we've got a problem then, haven't we? So we don't want to target at S because that's the item. How silly. Of course. This needs to be targeting the nearest interaction. So I think we're just going to change that. All of these at S's here to at N's. Like so. That was a handy scoreboard there. We saw very quickly that the item changed its own score. Okay, let's chuck that on there. We haven't got enough spider souls. Let's pretend to kill a spider. Right, we've got 2 spider souls. 1. I missed. 1. I got it. 2. I got it. 3. No. Did I do a reload? Oh my god. We've got 1 spider soul. It went down. Great. And now it shouldn't work. Oh, there we go. Couple of silly little mistakes, but we're forcing our way through. Woof. Okay, so with our spider souls, we can convert an item. Now, if you wanted to convert something else, like I said before, well, we are processing item on fire. Here we would say, okay, maybe sand, run, convert sand. And then you would have this function. But you would say not enough husk souls, and you'd remove a husk soul instead. I think some of this could probably be tidied up and put in it if you were having multiple functions. I mean, all of this is going to be the same anyway. The particle's going to be the same. The sound's going to be the same. So all of this bit here could be shipped off into another function. We won't worry about that. Okay. I want to be able to left and right click on the interaction entity. Left click is going to tell me how many souls I've got. Right click, I don't think I'm going to do anything with right click, but I'm going to set it up in case you guys want to. So let's go to process interaction. Interaction was left click. Okay, so we'll execute at S on attacker for left click. On attacker as the nearest type equals interaction, tag equals sacrificial fire, run, return, run, function, interaction left click. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're running as the interaction and at the interaction. Then we say on attacker. Now we're running as the attacker at the interaction. And then we say as the nearest interaction. And so when it goes to left click, it's running again as the interaction at the interaction. Now that sounds a bit silly, but what this is effectively doing is only running as interactions that have been attacked. And the first thing we're going to do is remove that attacker anyway. So it's only going to run once. That's why we're doing that. And we're just going to copy that actually, because I think we need pretty much all of that again. But if you are right clicking, you are not an attacker. You are a target. And we will run right click. Remove the fire if there is no lit campfire. Okay, so if our interaction is sitting there, but someone's broken the campfire, or they break the sculk block, then we want everything to be destroyed. So, execute, unless block. That block there is a campfire. Run, return, run, function, broken fire, and I'm going to copy that because it's pretty similar for what we're doing here, except here we're going to check, oh actually campfire, let's also specify lit equals true, so if they put the fire out it's going to break it as well. And here we'll say -1, but we won't check for a campfire. We will check for a sculk block. And we'll still run broken fire. And let's have some fire effects. And this is where we're going to use our predicates. So we'll do, or our timer predicates. Execute. If predicate, timer particle. So remember we set that to 30 about an hour ago. Every 30 ticks, we will check if predicate 50% chance. If that passes, then we will run function effect fire random. Let's do effect fire random first because it's pretty quick. I'll just paste in some stuff. Have we got a sound anywhere? There's a sound, that'll do. Okay, so there's some effects. Broken fire. Let's do broken fire. So remove the interaction. Well, first thing we want to do is let's kill that interaction. The fire no longer exists. Let's kill the text as well. Kill the nearest. Type equals text display. Tag equals sacrificial fire. Let's have some particles as well. There's a lot of particles going on. Again, I have particles. I'm not typing these because, come on, we've done so many of them, and you can read them, and they're in the data pack. There we go. Particle, play sound. So we've got something we can test there, actually. We can test if we remove the sculk block, if the campfire is not lit, or if we break the campfire. Let's do some testing. Right, let's do a reload. Right. Well, it just died. It definitely just died. Was that an instant death as well, though? We got a problem there. Yeah, look, it's dying straight away. Okay. What could be our problem? Why would we be dying straight away? Am I executing at? We are executing at it. Unless block Minecraft campfire lit true. Is it both? Like, I'll tell you what, let's comment both of these out. Save that. Go on here. Put you down. Create you. Yes, of course you do reload first. Okay. Now, is it both of them? Let's check sculpt block. I'm wondering if we're actually executing out. I'm sure we are. Okay, let's do sculk block. So if I reload and it dies... Okay, so this sculk block one is not causing the problem. Oh! I see the problem. I'm looking for a campfire. It's not a campfire, is it? It's a soul campfire. Save. There we go. Another silly one. Reload. Okay. So now if the fire gets put out. Yep, it's no longer a soul campfire. Have we got hitboxes on? So that's not helpful. Okay. So the fire got put out, it died. If we break the campfire, it dies. If we remove the soul sculpt block, it dies. God, that sound. Okay, so that all works. Let's get ourselves a skulky block and build our fire again. No. Okay. Right, let's do the left click and right click. I think that's all to do. Yeah, let's do right click first. Interaction, right click, do something here. Well, that's where you'll put whatever you want to do. I'm not going to add anything. I'm just putting this in case you want to use the right click, or in case I want to use it later as well, because I'm sure we want to be able to interact with a right click on it too. There's got to be something we can use it for. But anyway, let's do a data remove from entity at S interaction, and then we'll just do. Okay, by removing the interaction, that means it's going to forget that I right-clicked it, and it will stop running this. It will stop coming back to this function. I just say I was right-clicked. That'll do. Well, it'll do once it's spelled correctly. I'll stop that. It'll do once it's spelled correctly. Okay, so it's going to come in here, remove the interaction. It'll do whatever you want it to do, and then it'll end. So let's do reload. I right click it. I was right clicked. Cool. But something I do want to do is left click, because I'd like to know how many souls we've got. So let's do execute on attacker. Run tag at S. Add show me the scores. And then after we run a command, I'll do tag all players, tag equals, show me the scores, remove, show me the scores. And the reason why I'm doing that is so I can access the player nice and easily in this function without having to... Well, I don't know which is easier actually, but display soul count. And remove the interaction. Let's do this first. Data remove entity at S attack. So that's going to forget that I left clicked on it. I don't know if we really need. We could tag it, or we could just do execute on attacker. I'll tell you what. Let's do execute on attacker. I don't know if there's any difference in speed. Probably on attacker it's probably faster, because you don't have to search all the players. Anyway, let's go to display soul count. Oh, we can have a sound. Let's. I'll have my little amethyst chime. Let's tell raw. Well, we're going to have a tell raw to start with. Actually, let's do execute on attacker. Run tell raw at S. It's going to be a list. We're going to have one thing in there. Actually, to be honest, first one doesn't need to be a list. This will just be a title. We'll have a colour though. In fact, we'll have bold as well. Let's do some text. The text will just be, I don't know, souls collected. Colour gold. Bold true. Okay. Copy that. End. Put two more of them down. Put a square bracket at the beginning and at the end. At the beginning and at the end. Shrinky dinky those down. Change that text from souls collected to... What have we got? A husk. A husk. Let's change its colour from gold to grey. In fact, actually, I'm going to delete this second one because we're going to make so many changes. It'd be quicker to copy this one. Yeah, and let's add another entry. And this would be a score. So, say score, open and close, the name, and the objective. So this will be a score. The name will be, I suppose, at S. Who are we running as? We're running as the interaction. So at S, yeah. And the objective would be its soul count husk. Soul count husk. And then we'll just copy that and paste it. And we'll change that husk to spider. And we'll change soul count husk to soul count spider. And we'll say S. And we'll go back and we'll do a reload. And we can see we've got 0 there. Oh, reload. Husk. There's something odd. I thought we set its scores earlier. Let's put a husk soul. Okay, right. Clearly it's just not working. Okay. Oh, I see now. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see something here. We're executing on attackers, and I don't have the score. Right, so we can't do that. So let's remove execute on attacker, and we'll just have a tell raw. But now we've got the problem is we don't know who to display it to. We don't want to display it to all players. So what we'll do, we will go back and do that. We will tag them. So can I just put those tags back in? So we're going to tag the attacker. Then we'll run the display soul count. Then we'll take the tag off. This seems better. Yes, this seems better. And in here, we'll have a tag equals show me the scores. I think that should work. We'll save that. We'll go back. We'll do a reload. So I'm expecting a 1 and a 0. Nice. Okay, so now we can just kill a few entities. We can see I've got 7 souls stored, but I don't know what they are. Let's have a look. We left click. Oh, I've got 4 husk and 3 spider. Okay, let's get another spider. Ooh, happy fire. Okay, now if we left click, we've got 4 husk and 4 spider souls. 8 souls in total. Cool. Now, for my final version, I'm going to end it there. We're finished. It's waffling now. You might want to just run away quickly. We've been here too long. For the final version, I might be tempted just to remove the 8. I originally had it on there because I couldn't think of a way to display it. And I was only going to have one type of soul. And so this was fine. Every animal was just going to drop a soul. And then I thought, no, wouldn't it be cool if each mob dropped a different soul and each different soul had a different use? And so I added the left click function to see the souls. But I left this still up there. So I think if I was going to use this myself, I would probably remove that. It also looks like, I don't know, it's not supposed to have a background. Is that just a glitch because of the smoke? Is there a way of summoning the text display? I'm sure we should be able to remove. I'm sure we can remove that. Hang on, let's go bibbidi bibbidi boo. Where are we summoning the text display? Let's close all these windows down. Star on campfire. Text display. Yeah, we could set a background. What's the easiest way for me to get the background colour I need? Because I want opaque. Okay, well, MC Stacker. Let's do MC Stacker versions 1.4. Let's summon a text display. And background, there we go. Background. Opacity, 255. Yeah, let's change the colour to white. All F's is white. Opacity, 0. So, background colour of 1. Oh, hang on. Background colour. I'm going to come back to this in a second because I just thought of something. Let's try this in here. Let's just put that background on there. Save. Let's do a reload. Let's get rid of the fire. So I can just break it. Let's make ourselves a new one. Convert it. There we go. It's got no background now. That's much nicer. Okay, I like that. I just thought, or just noticed, when we were making the elytras white, I was using this number. But here, that seems to relate to an opacity of 0, which means it's translucent. What if I do 255? I might have to revisit the elytra one and try a number of -1. That was random. Not even to do with this. Not even to do with this. This video. It kept you here an extra couple of seconds, and now the dog started barking again. So I'm going to put some music on or something in my head so I don't have to listen to it all day. You guys have a great day. I will see you soon. Sorry for that one being so long. Take care. See you soon. I'll say that twice. Bye bye.